so I'm Lucy James. I'm here in Pittsburgh for a postdoc for the whole year. I got my PhD from the University of Bristol, which involved a visiting fellowship in Geneva to work with the Symmetry Group. So while I'm here, I've recently been working on a more general philosophy of science project, looking at connections between perspectival realism and ontic structural realism. The aim being to develop a framework to help understand more specific cases in physics. So the idea is to look very carefully at relationships between mathematical models, empirical data, and metaphysical interpretations of old theories that have worked, to think about how they constrain new theories. So old metaphysics becomes assumptions that get baked into new theories. So the more specific questions in physics is how that works when we're looking at less known cases. So I'm interested in astrophysics and cosmology, and how to develop a theory of quantum gravity. So these are quite speculative areas of physics, which are areas where philosophy can help to kind of direct the way that those theories evolve. So in particular, when we're thinking about metaphysics, I'm looking at space and time, and how the metaphysics plays into the mathematical models. In particular, starting to look at Euclidean approaches to quantum gravity, where time and space are more symmetrical to each other than we might assume. So looking at elliptic partial differential equations and comparing them to hyperbolic equations, and how these different kinds of mathematical equations model physical scenarios and what they tell us about space and time. So I'm also starting to look at applications of quantum gravity to black hole physics, and starting to navigate the data that comes from astrophysics, so the astrophysics literature that's kind of booming at the moment after the results from gravitational wave detectors. We've got new data, so there's more coming out of astrophysics about how to interpret that data. So I'm kind of starting to look at that and looking at how we can empirically distinguish astrophysical from primordial black holes, and where theory drives research, basically, in those areas. I chose to come to Pittsburgh in particular because it's just a really active department. Lots of people working on different areas of science. And there are three departments. There's a Centre for Philosophy of Science, HPS and philosophy departments that all work closely together and share lots of events. So we all go to the same lunchtime talks and seminars. So there's lots going on and lots of people to interact with. In particular, it's interesting to interact with people from other areas of science. People working on cognitive science has been really fascinating for me. So that's the reason for choosing Pittsburgh. It's been really stimulating so far.